What's going on, guys? Alright, so today I'm going to show you how to wrap the door on this Genesis Coupe in orange chrome. Now, this car has already been wrapped. I did in my previous video show you why we're rewrapping this door. So right here, the door is touching the fender. It doesn't actually touch, so I don't know why. Sometimes it's touching, sometimes it's not. So you can actually see the metal or the paint has worn away here where it has been touching. So customer wanted it rewrapped. I'm sure they said they're going to go get it fixed right afterwards, so they can adjust the fender or the door in whatever way they need to. Hopefully nobody uses it in the meantime. Anyways, we're going to rewrap it. The point of this video is to show you after 1 year if this color has faded. All right, so it's been 1 year. It's been 1 year as of September 23rd. Today we're on September 11th. So we're going to wrap this door right now. What I'm going to do is prep the surface. I'm going to use isopropyl alcohol. We've got 70% right here. No more, no less. We're going to mist down the area. All right. Even though I just removed the wrap, we're going to remove any excess dirt that might have been brought in from removing the wrap. Who knows? Might be something kicking around. So we just want to make sure we got a nice clean surface, pure surface to work with here, okay? Very important. So I'm just kind of wipe off the surrounding area. This car is ceramic coated as well, so the other panels have all been ceramic coated, which is really helpful in preserving the life of the wrap. Now, he didn't get it ceramic coated until like 5 or 6 months later. Sure. That was my car. That was my car. I have my keys in my pocket. Let me take them out. All right, so yeah, so he had the car ceramic coated. When do we do it? March, April, May, around May or so, I think, which helps preserve the finish on the actual chrome itself. Is it UV protected? No. All right. So we're just going to clean it in here a bit. Oh, got a little bit of chrome sitting around the bottom here. Let's get that off. Right there. Cool. So let's get that cleaned up. Let's get this a little bit cleaned up. Let's make sure we're all cleaned up in here. Got to tuck that in a bit. Excellent. Okay, so next things next. What we're going to do is we're going to cut our piece of vinyl out. So I know that this piece of vinyl is about 30 inches tall, no wider than 60 inches. So I'm going to measure it just in case. Got my tape measure right here. Again, a link to all the tools will be in the description below, guys. So if you're looking for everything, except for the orange chrome, it's not available. So it's a little bit, it's 30 inches, like end to end, it's 28 inches. Let's cut it at 32 inches, okay? Just give ourselves a little bit extra. So yeah, the orange chrome is not available online, but every other tool that I use is. All right, so I'm gonna cut this right now. Notice that I lift the vinyl up when I'm doing that so that I don't have issues with it scratching the car itself. And we're going to position this so I can just kind of lean against it a little bit. Not a big deal, we can do this. Magnet. Let's grab the other magnet here. All right, so magnet and magnet. Let's just get this piece out of the way. I'm just gonna put that there. It's just extra. I probably won't ever be using it. So as we can tell already, the color, very similar, all right? It's not going to be off. There's a slight chance that it could be off like a shade. Because, I mean, everything fades over time, and unfortunately, this isn't like a car where we can actually blend the vinyl. Where you can blend paint, so there's an advantage to paint in that case. Again, we'll see. What I'm going to do is leave the cap on to give myself, to preserve the finish on the actual wrap itself. Now, I can leave the cap on in this situation, and what I mean by cap is the actual protective cover that goes across. I can leave it on in this case because the door is fairly flat, all right? In a different situation where the panel is more curved, it's going to be much more difficult to leave the cap on. It'll actually cause issues, all right? So you're gonna wanna remove it. So as soon as I remove the cap, the color will actually change a little bit. It'll darken up a bit. The cap is actually causing it to be a little bit lighter. That's natural, obviously, with the cap being like a clear cap. So, all right, so I'm gonna do this. So right now I don't really need the shield guard. I will use it to help out a little bit just with the buffer gliding along the surface. I'm gonna find, I've done so many of these cars that I know where this line is right off the bat. For that hard body line right there. The temperature that I'm installing this in right now is about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which is ideal. You don't want it too cold and you don't want it too hot. Let's get rid of my magnets now. Won't need them anymore. The temperature allows for easy repositioning of the film. So we can see how nicely that this goes down right now. No, John, Jimmy, leave it off for like 10 minutes. Thank you. Just gonna turn the music on. I don't want the music on just yet until I'm done the video. So super easy, right guys? Goes down very nice. As I get near the bottom, the cap is going to inhibit me from getting it tucked in the way I need to, so I will need to remove it eventually. But again, I'm already down at the bottom. Let's work the rest here. So what we need to do is we need to lay in to the recess right here. Right here, so right here becomes a bit tricky and over the door handle area. Over the door handle area, what we need to do is we need to stretch the vinyl up and across a bit. It has to be taut around the door handle area. If it's not taut around the door handle area, we end up with too much slack in this area. So, could be a little tighter. This is where I might have to remove the cap, all right? If I can't get this to stay down, because the cap is actually making it so that the vinyl is much tighter. So I'm gonna remove the cap right now. There we go, I'll bring the color all back. This will also remove any dust that's on the surface. So now the vinyl will become much more stretchy, stretchable, pliable. The word. All right. So if I don't stretch across the door handle area, like I said, I'll end up with too much slack in this area. And when I go to push down, we're going to get wrinkles. So we want to stretch across that area slightly. We've got to keep it taut coming across here. Use my finger a bit for this. Shouldn't need very much heat, if any at all. I might need a tad just to soften it over here, so which I'm going to do that right now. Just to soften the film out a bit. Let's get that air out of there. That's going to help me keep those wrinkles away. It's a little bit tricky. There we go. All right, so as soon as I start getting that going, right there, I can pull up. We're being cautious when we're squeegeeing. I still have shield guard on my buffer, on my squeegee buffer, which helps it glide. So let's bring this down a little bit here. There we go. We want to lay into this recess right here. Let's finish this off. Perfect. Looks lovely. So I made it over the hard part. And then, so we've basically wrapped the whole door right there. This is all wrapped. As we can see, the color, bang on, right? Like we put that flush against that. It's bang on. I'll actually show you from this angle here. Maybe you're getting a different perspective from where you are. We'll look at it from all angles either way. So I'm going to finish off the bottom here. Make sure all those edges are smooth. I'm gonna grab my glove right now. Go over it. When we do this area right here, we're gonna heat it a bit. Let the vinyl relax. Not too much though, right? I'm going to start pushing in. I want to start with the deepest point right off the bat. And I'm just adding enough heat to soften the vinyl. I'm not trying to heat it so that we're killing it. We're just giving it enough pliability to work it around. Okay. So in order to alleviate, so that's golden in there. In order to alleviate some tension, what we can do is we can cut out some of the middle here where I'm going to cut out anyways, just as soon as I get this down a bit. Right there. So I'm going to cut right here in this hole where the gasket goes and the door handle fits. And that's going to make it a little bit less tension when it comes to wrapping in to this little recess right here. Cool. So I can actually lift this up a bit. Yep, and kind of feed the vinyl in, right? There. So we can see that the whole door is wrapped right now. Let's finish off this edge. Don't keep my heat gun on one spot for too long. It's always moving. I'm going to start cutting this out very carefully because the door and the fender are very close to each other. I'm not running my blade too deep, and I'm running on the back side, the opposite edge. So I didn't finish off cutting up here. That's because it gets a little bit tricky when we open the door. So I'm gonna cut this off straight up. So before I open the door, I mainly want to take care of this edge right here because it can snag. And obviously this is not a warranty job, simply because the vinyl is getting caught on the door fender itself, right? That's not due to my installation. That's just due to the issues with the car being in a small collision and them not lining it up properly. So I can't be responsible for that. We just kind of get our squeegee in there, add a bit of heat, and I push it flat. Okay? There are tools that will get around the edges a little bit easier. I'm pretty comfortable with using just the squeegee for the most part. Sometimes I use my other tools, but it's usually not needed. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open the car door. Perfect. Let's finish off the upper side here. Let's tuck all this in. So right now it doesn't matter because this is all going under the drip sill trim, the window sill trim, sorry. But I always wrap up to the top edge. Just makes it easier when we're cutting. We can pretty much just cut right along the top edge and not worry about cutting on the paint. Down here it gets a little bit tricky, so what I do normally down here is I float the blade a little bit because the mirror is going to go over here and so is the trim anyways, not a big deal. Just having a peek. So I'll float the blade right around here. And then try and meet that top edge right there. Slide my back of my blade down it. And we're gonna get rid of it completely. Just gotta finish this last bit off over here. I gave myself a tiny bit extra so that I could tuck, because there's a rubber trim here. I want to make sure that we're tucking underneath that rubber trim. Cut on the back side as always. Get that out of the way. Again, glove and heat gun. Soften up that corner a bit. Roll it around, alright? All the rest of this, we're going to go over it. Of course, we always do once we cut. Perfect. And then, last but not least, this area over here. Let me get it in the camera for you. There. So I gradually work the film around, all right? We're not trying to do it all in one shot. We're just gradually working it around. Again, I'm always keeping my heat gun moving. It's like 4 or 5 passes at least. Doors wrapped. All right, so let's have a look at it. As far as matching goes, it matches bang on 100%. And so again, that's the whole, it's more or less the idea of the video, right? 1 year later, these are just fingerprints. Clean it up later. 1 year later, right? Even in that area right there, no hazing, right? This is just some shield guard that I have left on. Cool. So, that was kind of a how-to video, and also to show you how the wrap matches up after a year's worth of time. This may not be the same situation with every brand and every color. Again, this is Vivid Orange Chrome. It may be different with 3M, like black, gloss black, or sorry, blue or Avery blue or Avery chrome or who knows what, but like it'll be different from brand to brand. Again, this just shows you what it's like to try and match it up after 1 year. Matches up perfectly. It should actually pretty much match up after 1 year, especially on a vertical surface. It shouldn't have faded that much. It's more so the horizontals, the roof, the hood, the trunk, that kind of stuff, where the sun's going to beat on it a lot more constantly and a lot more steadily. Again, this is on a vertical surface, so the sun isn't really hitting it all the time, as it would be the roof or the hood of the trunk, right? So that's it, guys. If you guys like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to see some more videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Take care.